welcome to How to Grow a Garden. It is the middle of November and we have had a break in the snow. The temperature got really hot, hot for us, so it got to about 6+6 yesterday. All the snow melted. It's awesome. Since we are in this little in-between moment where the weather is really good and everything is thawed, and I have this brand new greenhouse, which I don't think I've shown you guys yet. We built a greenhouse a few months ago, I think back in September. So since I have this greenhouse, what if I went ahead and took all my trays and pre-filled them with soil, pre-put the lids on top, so got the whole thing ready, and even laid them out in exactly the positions they're going to go, clean the entire greenhouse, make everything perfect, make it all the way it's gonna be in the spring. Because in the spring, it's all gonna be iced in, and it's gonna be really hard to get things in and get things out. And this way, I could then go in there at the perfect time when the sun is hitting that soil and the soil is starting to warm, and I can place the seeds right where they need to be and put those lids back on. And I'm even going to put the heating mats underneath all the trays, so it's really perfectly ready to go. And then I can sit back and enjoy the winter and not have to think about anything. So here we can see the hollyhock is doing really well, even though the ground is completely frozen. This is salvia. It's a sage. It's not going to survive the winter. It's going to get way too cold for it. I've yanked the bottom out and put that into my little grow room. It's dying, but there's a little bit of flower left. I need to put a rail across the top so I can hang these baskets and get that west sun coming in, which you can see through that window. It's nice and bright. These are, this is goat's beard. These are red prince, I think they're called. This, I'm not sure what they are at the moment because it's all pretty old. But anyway, they don't need to be covered. I was just propagating these, and it looks like it was a little too late in the season, which makes sense. I mean, really. So yeah, they didn't take it all. So they can go in a garbage, and we're just going to toss them right there. Okay, so the first rule in my little greenhouse is to always keep that pathway as clear as possible so nothing is pushing or falling into it. Go in the pile. These are all seeds that I have been propagating and waiting on, and this is Bugs Bane seed, which have now have opened and they're all over the table, which is okay. So I need to get some paper bags and put these together. I should really be planted outside, but maybe I'll take it into the house. This is leadwort. It's blue. It's a beautiful blue, and if I take it in to the house and stick it under one of the shelves in the growing room, in the studio, then it should be okay. So I'll take that into the house. Okay, because these are probably going to want to freeze, I'm just going to leave them in the containers and I'll fill it with soil later. My soil is all frozen now anyway. So my brilliant idea isn't that doable, but... Okay, so I got it mostly cleaned up. Right, I've got 4 things of soil in the back. These both have little bits in here. These are roses. Yeah, so there's some roses in here that are growing. So I need to water them and leave them, let them sit all winter. And then in here I have some hydrangeas that look like they might be growing too. Not the green stuff on the bottom, that's all weed. But back here, see those brown ones that look quite dead? A few of them are actually green. So I put the seeds down here. I just put them in there, and they're going to overwinter outside, which is really good because they need to be cold. A clematis in this pot, and then 4 things of soil right in front of the west-facing sun or window so that they're going to warm up. And then these are my extra pots, which really don't need to be in here at all, but just in case I might want one, they're good to have around. And on top there's a goat's beard little plant in there. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to leave it alone. I've got some extra bags, paper bags in the back, and some of my boxes are over here. A stool, which is great. When I'm out here in the spring, I'm going to want the stool. I'm leaving the compressor in here because the room isn't done, and I've gone ahead and hung up all of the baskets up here. They're not exactly hung up perfectly. They're just resting on that beam, but they're out of the way, which is big. This is kind of huge. I got most of my tools over there and a few tools on this side on the right by the door. And then back down here, there's an old stepladder, which is terribly disgusting. So just don't look at that. But it's useful. And then there's an old heater, which I found in the garage, and I thought I would put it in here. It was going to go to the recycling center, but I thought maybe if it works, I might be able to use it here on a really low setting, but I'm not sure, so I'll have to figure that out. Then down here, there's a basket with a few more cloches. These are just plastic cloches. My plastic domes, which when they're put together are going to look like this one, and the bottoms are in there. I'm not going to assemble them or put them together because I don't have my shelves, and when I was sitting in the room, when I was sitting over in my studio, which you can see right there in the beautiful studio, I was thinking that there was actually more room in here than there is. Isn't that funny how that works? So I think instead I'm just going to put them like this, and then in spring, or maybe this weekend, but probably later in spring or sometime during the winter, I'll come out here and I will put up the shelves, which are going to run under here so that I will have some space to get some things off the ground, although really most of the stuff isn't really going to go on shelves, so I'm not sure about that. But this is, here's, I have the door. Anything extra has gone into my truck. And there we go. Here is the final, how it looks now. Ta-da!